What is up, everybody? Welcome to Yankee Football, episode 10.
Episode 10, we did it, double digits.
I think it's 10.
Yeah.
We made it.
Yeah.
This will be our last episode. No, I'm kidding. But always good to hit a milestone like that. We've been getting a lot of good feedback from the episodes. You guys seem to really enjoy it, so that's what we love to see, and we promise to keep it coming for you. On this particular episode, we're going to be talking about some really cool things, starting off with AFCON, which is starting to blow up a little bit after a very slow start, which we were criticizing harshly. Now we look somewhat foolish for. And then we'll be talking about the FIFA World 11 on top of a couple other smaller, more delectable appetizers. Jake, I rewatched our predictions video, which if you haven't seen that, go check it out. It's on YouTube and streaming platforms. And I'm going to tell everybody listening and us how we did in those predictions in the most concise way I possibly can. Starting with Group A, we were pretty much spot on. Our prediction was completely fire with that. Group B, we both said that Senegal would stomp their way through the group. And they limped in, scoring one goal in 3 games. So Senegal had been kind of trash. Group C, we were mixed. I said it was a group of death. I did correctly predict Comoros going through as the 3rd place. But both of us had Ghana finishing 2nd, and they bounced out last.
They
were
trash.
Absolute trash. Gosh, man, I tried to watch every single Ghana game. They were so poor. It's like, offensively, don't even know where to start. Group D, we were technically correct. You said that this was your group of death. We both had Nigeria top, Egypt 2nd. Egypt is your flop of the tournament. Nigeria is my flop of the tournament, and they beasted everybody. So that prediction is looking rather bad at the moment. Group E, you said that Zaha would have to go Super Saiyan for Ivory Coast to finish above Algeria. Well, everybody finished above Algeria because they got 1 point from 3 games. How many people had Algeria winning this tournament?
Brutal.
What the hell happened?
I saw that they had that they took 50 shots in all the group stage games, and they only scored 1 goal.
Was 50 shots more than any other team or something, or was that like near the top? That sounds like a lot of shots. 50 in 3
Feels
games?
like a lot
I think
of
it's
shots. But
I think it's the top, if not close to the top.
And 1 goal. And you see Mahrez missed the penalty today.
Mahrez, dude, I really don't know what to say. Unlike some of my contemporaries on this podcast, I rate international tournaments really highly. Mahrez dropped out of my top 10 in the world. Just from this tournament alone, I was
Surprised he was in it. Surprised
No, that's
he was
fair.
I
in
know
it.
you are.
You're adding Jake with that, right? I mean, I value international tournaments a lot.
I'm judging from our Messi video that we did early on. Yeah, that was for both of you guys.
You know, when
I actually made a. Never mind. You'll see when we get to our best.
Yeah, when we get to the World 11, then I think you will see that I agree with you a little more than that.
Okay.
We can hash it all.
We'll
out
hash it
once
all out.
Although, Jake, going back to Group B, we were correct in saying that the Ivory Coast-Algeria game would be the game of the group stage. I thought it was the best game of the group stage, mostly because Algeria was absolutely in panic mode for 45 minutes, pretty longer than that, pretty much 80 minutes of the game, trying to get an equalizer and take the lead. So it was very wide open. Ivory Coast easily could have had 5 goals this game. Algeria should have had a few. Very, very entertaining stuff. In the last group, Jake, you had Tunisia first. They finished 3rd. I had Mali first. They finished 2nd. Tunisia scrapes by in 3rd place to advance to the knockout round, and Gambia wins the group. We couldn't name a single Gambian player. I still can't name a single Gambian player, but shout out to Gambia. You done well. I sent you guys the brackets so you guys can check that out. I guess the best way is to go game by game, perhaps, and kind of say who we think
I've got it up on the screen.
is going to win. Yes, if you're watching on YouTube, we will be putting this the bracket up on screen. If you're on streaming platforms, you'll just have to bear with us. We can start with the top left. Gabon versus Burkina Faso. Who you guys got with this one?
Gabon.
You, Jake?
I think so too.
I
Just because I can't you know, it's a similar thing to Gambia. Can't name a single goddamn player on the other team. So
I'm gonna agree with you guys, mainly because I'm really surprised how good Gabon looks without Aubameyang. They actually are a very solid team. I kind of ignorantly thought that they were completely dependent on this man to do anything. That is not the case. I mean, they ripped up Morocco. They looked good against Ghana, and they beat Comoros pretty soundly. So, yeah, Gabonese national team definitely better than I was expecting. Game underneath that, Nigeria, Tunisia. Who y'all got?
Nigeria.
I think that's
Purely based on jersey clout. That's my entire take there.
I agree with you guys. I think Nigeria, based on how they did in the group stage, just absolutely stomped through. It would be shocking if Tunisia can pull something off in this game. Next up, Gambia and Guinea. Now, I know you guys watch the Guinean national team a lot, so I'm expecting some serious insight into this match. What you guys think?
I really have no basis here.
I'm actually gonna say that Gambia takes this one.
I think so too. Where do they finish in their group?
First.
Yeah, then they ride the momentum into this knockout.
Okay, I kind of agree with you. Not only did they finish first, but Naby Keita is actually out for this game. He's suspended because he got 2 yellow cards. So Guinea down their best player, Gambia riding the high. I think they win this one 2-0.
Yeah. Okay. Hell yeah.
Cameroon, Comoros. Combined the two countries there for a second. Does Cameroon stomp?
They've been stomping.
Their group was bad, though. That was a weak-ass group.
Still, though, I mean, host country, they're going to come out guns
and
blazing.
that motivation is gonna carry them. The momentum is just, I think that's a huge part of any tournament. Like, once you get the ball rolling, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see them keep powering
They will
through.
blitz.
Yeah. This could easily be another, 4-1 for Cameroon.
That would be more interesting than many of the games I've seen so far. So we can only hope.
I will say the first round, and we talked about this in the last episode, every game pretty much sucked. Since then, it's been 50-50. 50% of the games are really interesting, and then 50%, basically every game Senegal's been in has been horrible. No action whatsoever. Complete snooze fest. Now that it's knockout round AFCON, very curious to see, does everybody become more conservative because they can't lose? Or does the level and the technical ability, does it go up a notch because this is go time?
I think this is when teams' personalities will come out. So we'll be able to see the results of training. Some teams are obviously going to try and be more defensive. Other teams are, they'll find their more natural attacking style play if they have that passion, that relentless sort of drive. But yeah, this is when personalities are going to come out. I think regardless, we're going to see some more great physical play. And with some of the upsets that are happening, I don't know. I'm just looking forward to more.
Yeah.
Looking forward to more.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's been very good since the first round of games, which goes back to what you said. You made the prediction that as this tournament goes on, the quality of play will improve. I think it'd be very difficult to argue against that at this point in time. So we'll see. Now we're in do or die times. Mali and Equatorial Guinea. Let's hear it.
I got Guinea.
You got Equatorial Guinea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. They were the guys who upset Algeria, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched that game. I hate that. Oh, my God, I can't remember his name. He's a guy who plays for some second league Spanish side. He's
Algerian
got pink
guy?
hair. No.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking
Equatorial
about.
Guinea.
He's got a kind of Spanish last name, too, doesn't
Yes.
he? Yeah.
I hated that man when I watched that Algerian game.
Because of his hair?
Because of everything. The way he was playing, the way he was doing everything. And at the end of the game, I was like, he was the difference maker. If I had to choose whether to play against him or with him, I'd want that guy on my team. He played some
he's
of
pretty
the,
solid.
I mean, I don't even know about, you know, how good he is, but the fact that he ran and he fought, he would have bled for that game, and they ended up winning. It was the most exciting game that I've seen to date. So yeah, I'm with my boys.
Okay, you got him winning the whole tournament.
Fuck it. Yeah, let's go. Equatorial Guinea, we got it. You my guys.
Holy shit! I mean, I want to see the betting odds on that one.
We can make some serious money here.
I'm gonna take Mali in this game. I think their midfield is too good. Equatorial Guinea, I've seen them play well. I watched them play against Ivory Coast, and pink hair guy was pretty solid in that game too. Almost had a goal against the Ivorians, but I just think Mali's midfield is too good. And I think this will be a snooze fest. I think it's 1-0. Mali wins. I could see this being like a set piece or something.
I see it being a good game. If Guinea comes out with even half of the intensity that they had in the Algerian game, I see it being really exciting stuff. I can't wait.
It was Algeria, though.
Yeah, that they beat 1-0.
Algeria's still good. They're good. Like, regardless of how they're playing, the intensity that was in that game. Look at Jake.
Jay, you think Algeria is trash?
I don't. I mean,
look,
just say
stats don't lie.
The results don't lie.
Yes. I agree with you. I'm not saying that Algeria is the be all end all, but they still have good talent, good players, but they got shut down. And it wasn't because Algeria was so bad. I thought it was because Equatorial Guinea played with passion.
Dude, Algeria looked smug. They looked real smug in the games that I saw. Kind of
they thought that
cruise control. And honestly, Senegal looks the exact same way. They just happened to not get scored on. And I mean, Senegal getting 5 points and winning the group. You got to think every Senegalese fan, they're of course happy they won the group, they're advancing, but they're looking around like shit. We play a good team. The first good team we play, who by the way they play Cape Verde. Possible upset, honestly. I mean, you got the two favorites that everybody thought was going to win coming out and just not playing as hard as the other teams. And, you know, I feel like sometimes you see this in South America, too. Like, you can't take a day off.
No, you can't.
You're going to get beat by Equatorial Guinea.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, Algeria learned their lesson. I don't know what their standing is right now in the World Cup qualifiers, if they've already made it or not, but you got to think morale is really low going into Qatar. Hopefully they do well. You know, we obviously want to see African teams do well at the World Cup, but man, absolute catastrophe for the Algerians. Jake, who did you say who you think is going to win, Mali or Equatorial Guinea?
I think Mali, you know, for similar reason as you, probably will be. I mean, I'm kind of looking at the right side of the screen. I think they're all going to be more snooze fest like than the left side of the bracket that
you know what made. This is what we're going to do. So everybody watching on YouTube or listening, we are each going to make our full brackets and we're going to publish it on the Twitter. Okay? And whoever wins, I don't know, you get some prize. So you'll be able to see how we think this entire tournament is going to fold out. It's like a March Madness, but AFCON, essentially. I think that'll be really fun. God knows how inaccurate these brackets are about to be.
I got Equatorial.
I mean, he's got Equatorial Guinea. He's got Equatorial Guinea beating Gambia in the final. So I mean,
come on, baby.
God knows how this is going to turn out. So if you want to see that, follow us over on Twitter at Yank Football Pod. Right, Jake? Yank Football Pod.
Yank
Football Pod. Almost got 20 followers. You listening right now, you could be the one. You could be number 20.
Yeah.
It's a great honor to be the 20th follower on Twitter. Next game, Morocco versus Malawi.
I got nothing to contribute.
It's got to be my boys.
Your boys.
Who are your boys?
Who?
My boys, Morocco.
This is unbelievable. Your boys were Senegal last video. Now they're Morocco?
My boys as in my dark
This man
horse.
jumping ship like it's the Titanic right now.
He's a
This
fair weather
is,
fan.
oh my gosh.
While he's wearing the
unbelievable.
turkey jersey.
Last video, I say Senegal. I think is going to win. He says Senegal. I say, okay, fine. You take Senegal. I'll take somebody else. I'll take Morocco. Now, this video is Morocco, my boys. Never has that sentence been uttered by Jake in his entire life until right now. But, okay, they're his boys now. Okay. So you can probably name their entire back line then. I got Morocco winning too. They looked pretty solid in the group stage. Not unbeatable, though. Like, this has upset potential. to me.
I don't know how much of an upset either one of those would be. Are they fairly evenly matched, or?
I would say Morocco are heavy favorites. Okay. Just from star power alone. Malawi, I want to say they were a third place finisher in their group. I don't even know what results they got, but kind of like scraped into the knockout round. But again, bro, this is AFCON. Everyone was thinking Algeria-Senegal rematch. Senegal looks trash. Algeria's already out. Ghana, one of the most successful teams. I think that the second most successful team in the tournament. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. So who knows? That'll be a game to watch.
Yeah.
This one will be very interesting. And Morocco comes out and they put him to the sword early. This could be a 3-0. If they kind of sit back, I don't know, chill and disrespect the Malawi team, they could get spanked. Ivory Coast, Egypt. Now, this is very interesting.
I got the Ivorians, for sure. I think they're on a roll. You know, Egypt, in my opinion, is just kind of scraped by. It'd be freaking incredible if Mo Salah came out with some magic. That would be unreal and super exciting. I would love to see that, but I just think Ivory Coast has got this. I think they got it in the bag.
What do you think, Jake?
I think Ivory Coast is the more complete team.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what wins.
But I think Mo might try to work some magic in there, so it should be a good game. That's probably looking at the list again.
Match.
That might be the match of the round of 16.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think all eyes are going to be on this. I think Nigeria-Tunisia probably is the second best, like, talent for talent matchup in the round of 16.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to go Egypt.
What, just to be contrarian, or you got...
No, I think the Egyptians have a really good defensive team, and I think Ivory Coast doesn't. They have a lot of attacking firepower, but even like Serge Aurier on the right, he's not a good defender, but he's a very good offensive fullback. I mean, look, they got touched a couple times in the group stage, Ivory Coast. I just think they're a little too shaky. I think Egypt might score first and then just lock it down. And I don't think that Ivory Coast will be able to unlock it. I think the reason they scored so many against Algeria is because they got that first one, and then the game was just open because Algeria didn't have a choice. Yeah. They had to win. They could not draw. They had to win. And you see Ivory Coast score 3. You know, and honestly, like I said, they should have had 6, but they're not a very good finishing team. I just like the discipline of the Egyptian national team. I think Mo Salah just needs one chance, and he puts them away. I know it's a hot take because Ivory Coast are coming in this on fire, but they looked vulnerable to me. Every game I watched, I was like, these guys look beatable.
Yes, it's just going to depend on who dictates the tempo of the match. It's all going to come down. I think it's going to end up being a mental competition. If you're right. If Egypt locks it down at the back and manages to score a goal, they're going to win it like Mourinho wins it, you know? Just park the bus, and it's going to be a fucking snooze fest of a game. But hopefully not. Hopefully Ivory Coast can pull something through and both teams fight with some passion. But I don't know. I'm hoping for an exciting game with an Ivory Coast win.
Yeah. I think whoever scores first wins this game. Because I don't think Egypt has enough offensively to score 2 or 3. And I don't think Ivory Coast has enough, I guess, just like, what do you call it?
Chutzpah.
Yeah, chutzpah, I guess. To, or I was going to say like an understanding of each other. Like they're not
chemistry. They're not cohesive
enough to break down this Egyptian team once they lock it down.
That's a $5 word right there. Now we got Senegal and Cape Verde. I'm going with Senegal just because I know absolutely nothing about Cape Verde besides I imagine it's green.
You would think, or something's like wrong about that.
Yeah.
Their flag's blue.
Their flag is blue. That was a little confusing. By the way, I originally had this bracket without the names, but then I figured you guys would not know who the fuck was playing. And so I had to add it back. I'm not going to lie. Mali, Senegal, Guinea, y'all's flags are a little too similar. Like, we need to...
If this breaks 20 likes, we'll embarrass ourselves, and we'll just put the flags up, and we'll all just try and...
We'll literally play Guess That African Nation just based off the flag.
Yeah. And if we break 50, then, I don't know, we'll try and point them out on a map or something. You can all bully us in the comments.
Yeah, and then we'll be canceled immediately. But so you got Senegal, Jake. I'm gonna guess because Senegal you predicted to win. I'm gonna assume you have them winning in the round of 16. Okay,
Correct.
Good. You know, sometimes I can make accurate deductions like that. I'm gonna agree with you guys. I think Senegal. I think they eke by again. I think it's 2-1. I'm saying 2-1.
That would be a fun game.
Yeah. I just don't see it. None of us have seen enough from Senegal to definitively say, like, yeah, these guys bulldozing to the final.
Yeah.
I mean, they look like
they
the fifth
haven't
best team.
proved themselves. And this is going to be really important for Senegal. If they get a decisive win here, that could carry them through because either way, they've got a really hard matchup. Whoever wins that, the next matchup is either Ivory Coast or Egypt, and that is dangerous. So whichever one of these teams wins this final, match, they're gonna have to come correct in the next round. They're gonna have to use whatever energy they get from there, and they're gonna have to come correct because that's gonna be a bitch of a match.
Yeah,
I
agree. So those are our round of 16 predictions. Like I said, guys, we will each make a bracket. We will publish it on the Twitter. If you want to see those, go follow us over at Yank Football Pod and hit that subscribe button if you want to see future AFCON coverage because we will be making another video about this either for the semifinals, finals, or something like that. So if that sounds interesting, y'all know what to do. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Moving on to the second main topic of the podcast, which is the FIFA World 11 that came out. I feel like we're going to have a lot to say.
We got a lot to say.
I'm fucking ready to argue.
Okay, if you're watching on YouTube, again, I'm going to throw up
boys.
the image overlay on screen. If you're listening on streaming platforms, let me just quickly read out who the team was. It is a 3-3-4 formation. You got Donnarumma in goal, Ruben Dias, Bonucci, and David Alaba as the defenders. In the midfield, you have Conte, Jorginho, and Kevin De Bruyne. Up top, remember it's 4 up top for this particular list. You got Erling Haaland, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, and Robert Lewandowski. Jake, you got a lot to say, so why don't you say it first?
What are we going to go position by position and just list off, or are we just going to give our 11s?
I was thinking more like I was going to just say first, what do I think of the list?
All right.
Like, okay, I think it's good, trash, fantastic. And then I was going to give some of my biggest snubs of like, I can't believe this guy didn't make it. How the hell did this guy make it?
Okay.
And then I had like one kind of dark horse pick that I was like, he was never going to make it, but it would have been really cool if he did.
Eden Hazard.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Hazard that was my dark horse. What do you have, like 2 goals this year? Yep. He should have been on there.
Oh God.
Maybe like 45 minutes played.
45 minutes played, 45 million earned in salary. Yeah, I mean it's a travesty.
Solid deal for him.
So
I know.
Jake, what I guess what are your overall thoughts on the list, and then like do you think it's a good list? When you saw this, were you like accurate?
Well, when you consider that this World 11 is voted on by, players and coaches, and it's not 3 fucking randoms like us, voting on the list. I think it does make sense. The only one that I really struggled with was Alaba, honestly.
Okay. Yeah.
I definitely thought that Trent Alexander-Arnold was going to be on there, if I'm going to be completely fucking honest.
Okay. That's a good shout.
And
it's a good shout.
like a lot of the guys, like a lot of the players on here, they won their international tournaments, and y'all are trying to imply that I don't think international tournaments are important. I believe they are. The only time that I think they aren't is in Messi's case, where he has a good international tournament, but then he shits the bed with his club. It like
doesn't though.
Levels out, Yeah, but it levels out.
Before we have a 30-minute debate about Messi, do we all agree that he belonged on the World 11?
No, I would have taken. Who? Okay, so
you would have taken Messi off?
Oh, Messi?
Yeah,
Messi.
Just
Oh,
Messi.
yeah.
I'm saying before we debate Messi.
Oh, I thought we were going to.
No. I mean, I think Messi should have been on here.
I think yes, but I think an argument could be made for somebody else as well. So
I think, hot take, Ronaldo shouldn't be on there either.
That's tough though. That's tough because I thought that initially. I saw that and I was like, oh well, not really. But he won Golden Boot at the Euros. You know, he is literally the only one dragging Manchester United anywhere, in my opinion. Like, I don't know, the man can only do so much, and he's doing it. You know,
I think he only gets the votes because he's Ronaldo.
I mean, yes, but he also deserves a large portion of them, you know?
I'm going to be honest. I didn't think Erling Haaland should have been on this list.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. Look, now a case can be made for him. He's, you know, a spectacular talent, but I don't know.
A case can be made, yes.
A case can be made. I thought Benzema.
The fact that he's made it over Mo Salah, Benzema, and I'm sorry, Harry Kane is ludicrous.
Yeah. And Mbappe, too. Say what you want about the bloke.
Well, you have to think, once again, that this is voted on by international players and coaches from every country in the world. And so the people that they see the most on social media, you know, and they see highlights of and stuff like that, the people that the media, you know, holds up as their poster children, those are the guys that are going to get the votes. That's why Ronaldo's on there. That's why Haaland's on there. You know, and I would make the argument that's why, you know, Messi is on there to a point. You know, I mean, yes, you know, he did win the Copa.
But I think that players know
PSG,
that,
I go back to that.
I don't know.
At least I feel like
we
Messi.
don't talk about PSG.
Look, it's difficult with Haaland because I feel like I don't know what the fuck the requirement was to get on this list. Was it winning international tournaments? If so, Donnarumma makes sense. If it wasn't, Donnarumma wasn't even the starting keeper for his club.
Yeah.
So why is he the best keeper in the world? Why is it not Edouard Mendy for Chelsea, who won the Champions League?
Mendy was my second.
I don't get that.
I think Donnarumma had an exceptional performance in the Euros, and I mean he won Player of the Tournament. He didn't win Golden Glove. He didn't win, you know, Keeper of the Tournament. He didn't do that. He won a goalkeeper, won Player of the Tournament, which is huge.
I bet you he doesn't do that if the final doesn't go to pens.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, penalty shootouts are super exciting and impressive, but did you not think he had a good tournament?
He did have a good tournament, but how much weight should the Euros get? Because Barella had a phenomenal Euros, and he's not in this list.
Yeah,
but Jorginho is?
Yeah, no, the Jorginho.
Are you kidding me?
Jorginho drew me. I mean, that shit was crazy.
It's because he plays for Chelsea.
It is.
As well.
I mean,
he's up on the media, you know, highlights.
Yeah, and he was the one player that won every single competition that he was a part of, right? Like, he won everything that he could have won, just, you know, from sheer luck.
Like, he was a part of he was a cog in the machine, but I think Jorginho making it over Luka Modric, I think, is
foolish,
despicable,
foolish. Or even, I mean, I had Gundogan. I took Jorginho out of mine. I would have taken.
I don't think
Gundogan.
either of those guys should make it, but I would take Gundogan, honestly.
Yeah,
like.
That's this right here. He's on my chest.
I feel like somebody published an article one day that was like Jorginho's a top 3 player, and then everybody started retweeting it and was like, "Oh, well, this must be true," without ever like watching Chelsea. He's a good player.
I have no idea when that consensus came out.
It's
well,
this
if
year.
you remember the Euros, I mean, they were saying his name all the time, you know, because they had just come off of winning the Champions League, right? And the announcers were saying Jorginho every Italian game that he was in,
which was,
you know, and because of that, he's just stuck in their minds.
Dumb, though.
Blows my mind.
Chiesa was my fucking guy. You put that guy in midfield. I switched him down. I was like, I don't want De Bruyne or Jorginho in this.
Yeah, Chiesa's an animal. I mean, I think he did have injury problem. Don't quote me on that, but I think he was injured for a little. So I understand, but
he still blew my mind.
The midfield is crazy. I mean, I just don't get it, too. Like, okay, so somebody that I had as a super, super dark horse is Pau Torres for Villarreal. He wins the Europa League with Villarreal, finishes 3rd at the Euros of Spain, plays incredibly well the entire tournament, finishes 2nd at the UEFA Nations League with Spain. So he gets pretty close, doesn't get over the line with the national team, but puts in solid performance after solid performance, wins the Europa League, and doesn't, I mean, like, look, he would never make it. Why? Because he's at Villarreal.
Yeah.
But the guy's an absolute animal. He's an animal. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, Bonucci? Bonucci's good. He's also 47. So I'm just a little. Is it like, okay, I feel like Italy, they won the Euros. Yes, awesome. But now they get the keeper and they get the center back in a back three because of the Euros.
Me personally.
Also, Juventus sucks. Can we just say that? Yes. They're trash.
Yes, and I get that's a really nice storyline. I completely agree with it, but I would not take Bonucci off of the list because he was the heart and soul of the Italian team, in my opinion. They were underdogs for me. I was like, there's no way Italy's out of this tournament immediately, but I feel like he really galvanized the entire team because of his age. You know, you talk about like a good locker room guy here in the United States. I think that was fucking 80% of his job.
Probably him and Chiellini, yeah. I mean, when your center backs are both 35 or
and
whatever.
Legends.
Yeah.
Absolute
legends.
So, yeah.
Let's not take that away.
No.
But, I mean, you got Barella in the heart of the midfield.
Yeah.
The entire Italian team, they were so fucking good in the Euros. They were so good. They made every team, pretty much except Spain in the semifinals, look like trash. They destroyed England.
But nobody expected that.
I feel like most people I saw were like, oh, Italy's a sleeper. Italy's a sleeper.
Yeah, but they're a sleeper. They're the dark horse, right? They're like, well, this could work, and it did.
Yeah.
You know?
And they overperformed, but I think we're talking about World 11. Again, I feel like this is just a crazy Euro bias, again, coming through. I mean, how many South Americans we got on this list? One South American, Leo Messi. That's crazy to me. To me, that's insane.
I mean,
I think Thiago Silva deserves a shout.
I thought he should have been in there instead of Alaba. I thought that immediately. I was like, wow.
Alisson at keeper.
Have you all seen the so there's the World 11, right? And then they actually release the top 23 players who received votes.
I did not see that. How's it looking?
So for goalkeepers, you have Alisson.
Wait, can I stop you there? It gives you the top 23 per position?
It gives you 3 goalkeepers, 6 defenders, 6 midfielders, and 8 forwards to make up 23 players that receive the most votes. Continue. So Becker and Donnarumma and Mendy.
Yeah.
Donnarumma was the one that got the most votes there. For defenders, it's Alaba, Jordi Alba, Trent Alexander-Arnold,
your boy,
Dani Alves.
Dani Alves?
Dani Alves?
Wow.
Leonardo Bonucci and Ruben Dias. Midfielders, Busquets, De Bruyne, Bruno Fernandes, De Jong, Jorginho,
De Jong from Barcelona in the Netherlands.
That's garbage. That's garbage.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is voting on this? Yeah. This is shameful.
And here's some good ones. For forwards, it's Benzema.
Okay.
Biggest snub.
Ronaldo.
Okay. I'm scared, dude.
Haaland.
Okay.
Lewandowski.
Okay. Deserved.
Lukaku. Mbappe.
Okay.
Messi. The icing on the cake, Neymar.
No. Oh, God.
Okay, yeah. Thiago Silva
Neymar.
and honestly Rudiger not being in those defender lists. Either one of them, just one. Shocking. So De Jong.
That's hilarious. It's hilarious. I'm trying not to spit into my camera or into my microphone. Yeah, that's foolish. Are they seeing some like training footage that we're not seeing?
They must be.
They must be. Like the dialogue must be completely different in Europe or something, because there is no way in hell. I'll take Jorginho over, most of those guys. Like I can't even imagine. Lukaku? What, did they just forget about the last 3 months?
And his international play was not.
His international play was good.
I mean, it was average. It was okay.
No, it was. I mean, it was good for Belgium.
Him getting a nod over Harry Kane is fucking ridiculous. Leads the Prem in assists and goals for a trash ass Tottenham team, and Lukaku gets in over him. Come on, bro. That Inter team was stacked.
So I'm actually looking at this. The voting for this starts in August, and it only lasts for 5 weeks. So August 2021.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's really like...
So it's the beginning of the 2021-2022 season. So right after the Euros.
Right after the Euros and is that in the middle of the Copa America?
What ended first? Didn't the Copa end first?
No.
I thought the Copa ended first.
Did the Copa end first?
I'm pretty sure I was in Crete, I think, when the Copa ended. In the the final I was in Mykonos. So yeah, the Euro final was later.
Oh, damn.
Okay, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. So this starts in August. So it's really like who was good for half the year. Then it ends right after the Euros. So not only is the Euro bias going to be strong already, but now what's happening the second the Euro final is over, and then they release it in January the following year?
This is fucking bizarre.
How long does it take to count?
Bizarre.
How many? There couldn't be that many votes.
20,000 votes.
What the hell is... This is why nobody puts any weight behind these things.
Dude, so I'm telling you, it's every international coach votes, every international captain of their national team votes, and then you get like all the major other players that vote, and it all adds up to like 20,000, 19,000.
So this is the Players Association Awards. They just vote for their friends.
Yeah, essentially, and that's why I think what we were talking about earlier. You got the Italians are on the forefront of everyone's minds because they just won the Euros, and you have Ronaldo makes the list, Messi makes the list, and all these names that maybe might not be on there, but historically they're some of the greatest of all time.
Let's talk about Messi. We've waited long enough. Let's talk about Messi. Let's just talk about him.
Is there much to say? If we're talking about, let's remember, first 6 months of the year, okay? Right. He was a fucking animal. And then he won the Copa. Case closed. He's making the list.
Yeah, he's making the list. And I looked at his PSG stats. He has played 16 games for them. You want to know his stats? Throw out those?
Okay.
6 goals and 5 assists. In 16 games, that is not bad. That is not terrible, as, some people have been throwing around this podcast. It's not awful at all. And his 5 of his 6 goals came in Champions League matches. And he had, the 5 assists and 1 goal in League One. And then he's been out with COVID ever since. I think that's a pretty solid freaking case for a guy who just switched teams to play with a bunch of people that he does. I mean, he knows Neymar, but outside of that, what? I don't know. I think that's pretty hell yeah.
I'll say it like this. Messi has a much stronger case than Ronaldo.
I think Ronaldo's carrying a lot more baggage, though. Like, Messi's got help. Ronaldo has nothing.
But you got to remember, he wasn't at Man U yet. He hadn't played at Manchester United yet. This is just Juventus Ronaldo.
Yeah.
And Portugal Ronaldo. And they were disappointing in the Euros.
Yes.
And Juventus...
No, he got it because he's historically good. That's why.
I really want to know, if you asked every manager in Europe right now, would you rather have Mo Salah or Cristiano Ronaldo?
Oh, everybody picks Mo Salah.
Everybody picks Mo. How is he not on this list?
Everybody. I think everybody picks Mo Salah over Messi, too.
Maybe. I mean, that'd be closer, but at the age and everything, sure, yeah. I mean, these guys are getting old. And I just want to point out the fact none of us even blinked that Neymar's not on this list.
Yeah, no.
What does that say about that man and that man's career? He literally is an afterthought now in the world of football.
He's not. I think all that's a little harsh, but yeah, he did not live up to his potential. He was supposed to be the next Messi, and I think that ultimately destroyed him. Like, he reminds me of Kyrie Irving.
He is Kyrie Irving.
He's Kyrie Irving. But I don't think he's as much of a princess. I think Kyrie Irving, there's fundamentally something just off.
Correct.
But Neymar went away. He was like, I've got to do this on my own. I've got to do something else instead of, sticking with MSN and just figuring it out there. I think ultimately staying and learning underneath Messi and building the squad around him next would have been the smartest decision, because he just couldn't hack it at PSG. And I think even his performances for Brazil have suffered because of that. though he does look good for them. I think there's still potential for this man, but yeah, no. We don't blink because there's nothing to write home about.
So what do y'all think about my boy Lewandowski, the Polish Hammer, winning FIFA Player of the Year?
Yeah, well deserved. Well deserved. Well deserved.
Jack, what do you think?
I think that's
He finally
fair.
won something?
he needed to.
Yeah, he did.
He absolutely needed to.
Yeah.
You know who didn't vote for him
Lionel Messi,
for Best Player of the Year?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Messi.
He voted for
Messi
himself.
did. He voted Neymar. He's delusional,
Okay,
mate.
okay.
His homie.
Messi is
We can't
delusional.
fucking trust anything in these awards. I mean, Messi cannot possibly think Neymar is the
but
best player.
That's his guy, and that's
it's
who
his-
he sees.
Of course, it's his guy, but it's like when we're looking at the FIFA World
So
11,
up on
we're
my-
like, how did this guy make it? That's how they made it, because they got a lot of homies. That's why they made the list.
You know who the Chinese national team captain voted for? Ji Woo. He voted for Jorginho as the Best Player of the Year.
What the fuck? What are these people smoking?
Can I read you guys my 11?
Okay.
All right, bet. All right, so I got in the back, I got Dias, I got Bonucci, and Thiago Silva.
Okay.
Then my midfield, I have Chiesa in my midfield, and Kante and Gundogan. And an alternate for Chiesa would be Rodri if we had to go strictly.
I'm going Rodri over him, but okay.
Look, I fell in love. I rate international play super, super highly. I fell in love with Chiesa during the Euros. He was the most exciting player to watch, easily, by far.
I could use that against you and say Turkey were fucking awful. But go on, yeah. Who's your who are your forwards?
All right. Then for my forwards, I have. I agree Messi was in there, but if I had to go with an alternate, I'd say Salah. Then Lewandowski, Benzema, and Mbappe on the left, with Ronaldo as the alternate.
Yeah, if you replace Rodri with Gundogan, I think you have a very solid list. That's the only kind of disagreement that I have.
You mean if I replace Chiesa with Rodri?
No,
Or Gundogan with Rodri?
Gundogan, yeah. I think
Okay.
Rodri's...
You know who
I
Mo Salah
just
voted
think
for?
Gundogan, he's the only reason Man City won that year. So
I'm going to guess Mo Salah voted for Sadio Mane.
Jorginho.
damn.
I guess he's good. I guess there's something. I
We're
guess there's
obviously
something
not
we don't
watching
see.
him close enough. We just don't have that knowledge.
You know who else voted for Jorginho?
Jorginho?
Spadell. That's the fucking missing piece of the puzzle here. I know you're watching this.
He must have been the goddamn tiebreaker with
Yeah, he was there. Yeah.
Rodri almost snuck in there, and then they were like, nope, Jorginho. God damn it.
Even Robert Lewandowski voted for Jorginho as Player of the Year.
Who is this guy? Is he like buying people off?
Dude, I mean, I've never questioned my football knowledge more than...
This spreadsheet is really interesting. I'm gonna
Yeah,
send it
yeah.
to you.
I
It's
wanna
literally
know
all
what's
the national, all the captains, all the
You
coaches,
gotta analyze this.
and the top 3 who they voted for Best of the Year.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's do it. Might as
do
well.
it. Another FIFA award where I just shake my head and facepalm.
I mean, it's all biased, but we knew that. Like,
Yeah.
who are we kidding ourselves? Like, of course it's biased. What do we think it is?
All I wish is that they posted 140 characters and they were like, this is why these people were selected. This was factored in this much. This was factored in this much. Here's your 11. And I would say, okay, I get it. But I just don't get it. And I don't think I'll ever get it until they do something like that, which they never will. But anyways, moving on. So I saw some very interesting tweets going on about the upcoming U.S. men's national team qualifier. I believe we play Canada, Jamaica. Do you know what the third game is? El Salvador.
No.
It's a Central American team.
Central American.
And
right?
there's been some backlash, you could say, and some people letting their feelings be known about the fact that the U.S. are going to be playing their games in Columbus. I'm going to read you guys some tweets right now that I saved from Taylor Twellman, who's, he's usually a commentator on like ESPN and stuff for U.S. men's national team's games. Okay, yeah, here we go. So, U.S. men's national team qualifiers versus El Salvador in Columbus, January 27th, 22 degrees at kickoff. This is what Taylor Twellman said about this fixture. He said, quote, "I just will never understand why you have to do this. Both teams will be freezing, and the risk of making the game, quote, ugly is greater with this type of weather. It's not like the U.S. men's national team has been training and playing in this climate while El Salvador is in Florida." And then going off of that, there were a lot of fans who were expressing frustration that the U.S. plays so many games in Chicago, Columbus, and these northern cities. Somebody says, "Why the hell does LA never get World Cup qualifier matches? Instead, they play in places with 20-degree weather." To which Alexi Lawless, Connor's favorite, said, "Because with LA's huge Hispanic and Latino population, it can create a competitive disadvantage playing against certain CONCACAF teams. Also, logically, LA might not always be beneficial to efficient travel between games."
I get it being a logistical hassle. I don't know if there's some like, I don't know what tax that they got to take out of like sporting events there, or what. But I don't know. Seems reasonable to me.
I'm going to read you one more quote or one more tweet from Alexi Lawless. He said, "This is not an indictment of U.S. supporters. It's the reality of the United States. We're unique and awesome in our diversity. Our melting pot means national team affiliations are many. But in time, I think next generations will develop a greater affinity for U.S. men's national team and U.S. women's national team as their team." So he's basically talking about, like, responding to somebody saying that it sucks you can't play in L.A. because there's just too many Latinos. And then I was reading some other comments about people saying that this is almost racist to not play these games in cities in which there's a larger Latino population. So we're kind of dealing with two main issues here. First is, what are your guys' thoughts? Do you think there's a problem with the U.S. saying, hey, every time we play in L.A., we're the away team. So we're going to stop playing in L.A. We're going to stop playing in San Antonio. We're going to go to Columbus, where it's actually a home field advantage as it's designed to be. And two, I guess, do you guys see anything wrong with that line of thinking? Is that, I guess, discriminatory to a degree?
I mean, it's reality. Like when Argentina crashed out of the 1990 World Cup, it was in Dallas. And Maradona got taken out because of, a PET scandal or what have you. But my dad was there at that game, and he talked about the entire stadium just being filled to the brim with Mexican fans, and they were like chanting and making fun of Maradona and like chasing Argentine fans through the bleachers, and like there were like fights breaking out, and that's the reality. Like when I went to San Antonio, I saw 3 people wearing Argentina jerseys. One of them was myself. The other one was that nice old lady. Shout out. And then just another guy wearing a Messi jersey. That's just the reality. There's a huge Mexican population here, and I guess it would be a home field advantage for them if you played in LA, or I guess maybe even here in Houston. But I don't think that's an excuse to not play the games here. Like it should still be considered a home game. I mean, unless maybe you're playing Mexico, that should be a factor. But yeah, no, I don't see any reason why you couldn't play one of those games in Los Angeles. Like even if they show up wearing Mexican jerseys, if you're not playing Mexico, odds are they're still rooting for the United States. I would think. Like I don't know.
But I think they're also worried about like Salvadorians showing up in like dominating half the stadium or even a third of the stadium. That's a lot when we're talking about a World Cup qualifier.
Yeah, but I don't think that 2/3 of Salvadorians or 2/3 of the stadium is going to be taken up by Salvadorians showing up. I say let whoever shows up show up, and then I guess what I'm getting at is we don't have a recent example of this. We don't have, or at least in my mind, there's not a story that's been like, oh, the United States feels like a stranger in their own stadiums. Like I haven't heard that. I haven't seen it. And, even if that is the case, boys, ponte huevo, you know, like grow a pair. Let's do this thing. Show up. This is your stadium. Make it your stadium. Earn those fans. I'm okay with that. No, I don't think every game should be played in Columbus. What about New York? New York is a melting pot. You got a ton of soccer up there. Play some on the East Coast. Doesn't just have to be Midwest. Play a game in Florida. What are the Cubans going to show up and bully you out of the stadium? No. Yes. I don't know. I don't see any reason. I guess I thought groundbreaking here. I thought Alexi Lalas phrased it pretty well. I thought he was very articulate, and I know his intention was not to.
Wow.
I know, right? Big steps here. Believe it or not, I'm not completely biased. I thought he phrased it well.
I thought he said it well too.
I can definitely see where the other people are coming from, because you know what? Half of these people are probably Mexican fans or first generation, second generation Americans who like both, and maybe they just have a Mexico jersey in their closet, but they're going to scream just as loud for the U.S. men's national team. I don't know. I don't see it as an issue. Yeah, we're a really diverse country, so that comes with logistical issues.
Yeah,
I don't. That just seems like some bullshit to me. Like, why are we that worried about it?
What do you think, Jake?
I think if they're that worried about, like the example you gave, where an opposing country's fan base would mob the stadium, that they just they implement something that they do in the Premier League, or I guess I feel they do it throughout all of Europe, where they sell a limited amount of away tickets to away fans, and they put them in their own section. Just make it simple like that. And I feel.
Do you think that it's a form of racial discrimination to not play in LA? If the US is like, look, we're not playing in LA because every time we do, there's too many goddamn Hondurans chanting in the stadium, and our players feel like it's an away game. And when we go to Honduras, ain't a damn single American fan in the stadium because no Americans live in these other countries. And I think that's what he's talking about. It's a uniquely American problem. So, like, is this a form of racial discrimination?
I say you got to earn your fans. Earn them.
I don't think it's racially motivated.
I mean, I agree with you, of course, but I mean, I think for it to be racially motivated, I think we'd have to have like purebred white people as like our entire team. You know what I'm saying? Like, half the team's black. Like, let's just start there. We have plenty of Mexican Americans, other Central Americans who are like second generation. So it's not like we want white fans. It's like, no, they just don't want it to feel like an away game. And you know what? If any other country was as diverse as us, they would say the same goddamn thing. But when we go play in the Azteca, there's only 2% of the crowd, if that, are American, and the other 98% is Mexican. And isn't that how it should be? Yeah, that was generous.
That was generous. But no, your principle still stands. Yeah, that's a tough one, I guess. But that shouldn't be a reason to never play in Los Angeles.
Absolutely.
No, it should be completely arbitrary. Am I using that right? They should literally throw all the city's names in a hat and pull it out. And yes, if it's a genuine logistic issue, sure. But no, don't stack the odds by going to play in Ohio. Like, I mean, if you really want to use a home field advantage, catch them in wintertime, take them up to Green Bay. That'll be the United States home field advantage. That'll be a big old fuck you to any other country that isn't like Northern European or maybe, I don't know, Chileans or something. I don't.
Well, that's part of the reason we go up there is because we play very well in Columbus.
Do we?
Yes,
we do.
We do.
All right, outstanding. Then that's our stadium.
I've actually been to a U.S. men's national team game in Columbus when we played Guatemala. Maybe 60 Guatemalan fans. Maybe. So it's a good strategy. It's just one of those things where it's like, I understand. If I was living in LA, I mean, look, we live in Houston.
Yeah.
How many times does the U.S. come down here?
No, it's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. So, like, I get it. I'm annoyed just like some other people on Twitter are annoyed by it. I want to see the U.S. play in my city. I don't want to have to go back to my college town to watch them play. That's
I don't
stupid.
want to go back to your college town either.
But I mean, shit, nobody does. That's why I fled with everything I could carry. OHIO,
Straight
baby.
facts.
But you know, it's kind of an unfortunate drawback of the country that we live in. Now, do we need to play in Chicago when we play Jamaica? Are there that many Jamaicans in Houston that they would just flood the stadium and nobody would be able to hear any U.S. chants? I don't think so. I think really Mexico and maybe one or two other countries is kind of like the main problem here. But why are we not playing Canada in Los Angeles? Why are we not playing Canada in Houston, Jamaica, Panama, any other Trinidad and Tobago? Why are these games not played in the South? I think that part's bullshit.
Yes, agreed. And I think it's because it's too immaterial. We are gaining traction as a team with fans in our country rather quickly, but nothing is established yet. Yes, maybe the statistics say we play higher in Columbus. We might even sell more tickets over there. But I think that after the which World Cup is it? Is it going to be the 2026 that we're going to share with Mexico and Canada?
2026, right? Yeah.
The one after Qatar? Yeah, so
it's us, Canada, and Mexico, right?
Yes, I believe so. I think that's going to do a great job of helping us decide which is our home stadium, because, you know, other countries, they have a central stadium where they're like, you know, this is where we play. Mm-hmm. This is, what is it in England? It's the big one, Wembley, right? Yeah. Wembley.
That's a good point.
Like, that is their stadium.
We got too much territory.
Their advantage. We've got too much territory to cover. We've got too much draw from all over the nation. So I think we're going to find...
Because we're fucking America, baby. Every fucking state has 2 or 3 stadiums to choose
You goddamn right. But there will eventually be 1 or 2 or 3 that are dedicated to soccer. And I think it needs to be in a great American city. Like, I think New York, L.A., maybe somewhere in the center, like, Houston... Just
Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah, definitely. Oklahoma. That would be a big old fuck you to whoever wants to come to play.
OKC, home base. Damn, that'd be crazy.
I think Kansas City would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think we're gonna figure it out. It is an issue now. I get both sides. I thought Alexi Lalas tried to handle it well.
That's an interesting angle too. Like, maybe because the U.S. is still on the up and coming, like you said. Maybe the like proposition of being outnumbered or even close to outnumbered is still threatening.
Yeah.
But once we reach that level where it's like, okay, we got a couple Gold Cups in a row, the tide is completely turned in the Mexican rivalry and the Canadian rivalry, we're comfortable, maybe they will stop giving a shit, because it is a little almost childish that we're threatened by Honduran fans by playing in New Mexico or California.
But look, don't get me wrong. I think that's beautiful. Like, I got chills whenever we were in San Antonio, and I mean, it was a sea of green and black. Like, that was when Ochoa walked out of that tunnel. Oh my God, my hair stood up like on my arms. I was like, oh my God, it was so fucking cool. Like, I get that. That is a genuine advantage, but I don't know. Once the United States has that kind of history, we're going to earn our stadium. We're going to earn our home turf. It's just a matter of going out there and claiming it, you know?
Do you think the United States risks not attaining new fans because of how limited they are in the venues in which they choose to play? And in other words, yes. You think they're hurting their growth, you could say, by always playing in the North?
Yeah.
Yes.
Explain.
It is a well-known fact to most Americans that the best athletes in the country come from the South. They need to play more fucking games here. Plain and simple.
You think by having access to the U.S. men's national team, I'm more likely to become a fan as a second-generation Mexican?
I think it hinders growth, and I think you can even tie this back to whenever, just look at viewership rates of the World Cup, you know, from only an American viewer perspective. Each World Cup, you know, from the early 2000s onward, each one progressively got more and more traction and more people were watching in the States until we fucking didn't qualify for one, and then it plummeted.
Yeah.
One, I think that's because historically the U.S. has always been a laughing stock, and most people, thought that we were ass.
You're damn right.
And
We were ass.
We were ass like 2
obviously
years
viewership
ago.
will go up when people, start liking it. But, I think the U.S. I'm blanking on the name. The U.S. Soccer Federation. That's not what it's called, is it?
What do you mean, like U.S. soccer?
I think it might be U.S.
Whatever the governing body is. It's U.S.
USF?
U.S.
I
Soccer.
thought it was U.S. soccer, but that's what the coaching licenses are
USS?
called.
Something.
Yeah.
Shit,
Something.
why don't we know this?
Whatever.
We're fair
Whatever
weather
the
fans.
governing body is, they need to be to be completely focused on growing
Imagine
the sport in any way
bandwagon
possible.
in the U.S.
I do bandwagon the U.S. because I got Argentina to fall back on.
Yeah. No,
But that's true. I would. You know what? That's a very good point. I would be a much bigger U.S. men's national team fan if they fucking played games in Houston. Like if I had the opportunity to go see them at Reliance or even see them play some friendly throwaway game with their B team at what is it? It's not BBVA Stadium anymore. It's what's it called? The Dynamo Stadium.
Wherever the Dynamo.
Yeah,
play.
where the Dynamo play.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
I would go see that, or even in like Austin. Like I
Yeah.
would make the trip up there.
I would definitely
One
go to
game's in San
Austin.
Antonio. Like that's exciting to
Yeah.
me, and I would be more invested in that. But I mean, it comes down to it. Yeah, probably a second generation Mexican. You got to pick between, am I going to support Mexico or am I going to support the U.S. men's national team? Well, they play every fucking Mexican game, away game in Texas, or Los Angeles. So yeah, I'm going to support them because I get to see them. I'm not driving to fucking Ohio
Right.
to watch the U.S. men's national team get spanked by fucking Jamaica. No, I don't want to do that.
There's some
bullshit.
really interesting psychology there because, like, I'll use myself as an example. I'm a huge Cleveland fan because of my dad, even though I've only spent probably like 2 months of my life in Cleveland. And so I've only seen the Cavs play like 5 times in my whole life, and they've lost 4 of those games to the Rockets. Like, they usually get spanked whenever they come down here. But I'm still so passionate about Cleveland, and maybe it's different because it's like club versus country. We all obviously love Premier League teams, which we haven't had the luxury of seeing yet, but we still love those clubs. So maybe there is something different between like a club, which is almost like a business in a way, versus like your national pride.
For sure.
I guess. Because there are people that are that don't live or that live in Houston, but they're fans of like other professional sports teams.
Yeah, for sure.
So maybe it's not that it's impossible to live in Nebraska and become a diehard U.S. men's national team fan, even though you've never seen them. But probably it is easier somewhere like Columbus, which I wouldn't call it a soccer town, but every game is sold out.
So then maybe,
maybe the proximity.
It's pretty big.
It is a big deal, and the stadium's within walking distance of Ohio State. A long walk, like 45 minutes. I've done it. It ain't easy. It ain't fun, but you can do it in the freezing cold. And it's like this. There is also a pride in Columbus. It's like this is where the national team comes to win. This stadium, and people are in it from the start. I mean, it might have been a friendly against Guatemala, but you would have thought it was a World Cup quarterfinal. I mean, everybody was in it. No disrespect to Guatemala. They're not that good of a team. The U.S. dominated. We won 4-0, but the way the crowd reacted every time we scored was, I mean, yeah, like I got chills every single time. So yeah, maybe this is something that will change as the U.S. becomes, 1, better, and 2, maybe there just needs to be more discussion about like, hey, I want to be a diehard fan of you guys, but I never get the chance to see you, so please come to San Diego.
Yeah. We got to have a chat with their marketing department.
We do.
Their logistics department.
You know what? I'll draft an email.
Okay. I'll sign it
Do it.
Okay.
at the bottom.
And then we will claim credit
Yeah.
when the United States suddenly exclusively plays in Texas and California. Watch our record like plummet. They're like, hey guys, we've listened to you. We're gonna go to LA. We're gonna play like hashtag soccer's for everybody, and then they just get clapped 3-0 by El Salvador. And it's like, okay, well, we'll go to Houston and see how this goes. Jamaica puts like 5 past us or something. Like, all right, fuck y'all. We're never coming to the South again. We're going back up north.
See, that would make Alexi Lalas right, and that's a paradox. So, can I broach something really quick before we sign off? Just on the topic of club versus country, talking about how the country and that sort of passion is much more ingrained into you. Back when I was choosing a Premier League team to root for, I picked Man City because they had just a shit ton of Argentines, and it was the same color as the national team, right? They had obviously Aguero and his, legendary goal, which is how I heard about them in the first place. And they had Demichelis. Even Yaya Toure was playing there. Like Zabaleta too. He's one of my favorites. Like I picked them and I really liked them, but now after Aguero's gone, a lot of those guys just don't exist anymore. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not that I've fallen out of love with them because I'll support them, but I don't know. It's just become it's not as fun to watch them anymore. I'm not as invested. Yes, believe me, I love it. I still follow their games. I die to watch them. Kevin De Bruyne's my boy, and yeah, I don't know. It's not as fun to watch Manchester City. I have had more fun watching Liverpool play, or even watching Leeds at times. Like, I don't know. That's just been more interesting lately. Whereas, when Argentina plays like shit, I'm still locked in. Even the U.S. men's national team, I'm still it still hurts me in my heart, or Boca Juniors. Like, those are my ride or dies. But I don't know. Maybe I'm like a fair weather Man City fan, but that doesn't make any sense because we're fucking clobbering the league right now.
Right. So you should be emphatic right now.
Yeah, waving it in Jake's face every single day. But
why just my face?
Well, I think there's 6 clubs that can do that right now. But anyways,
God damn. Is Tottenham one of them?
So basically, what you're saying, Connor?
Yes, Tottenham is one.
So basically, what you're saying is we all need to pick a championship league team.
Yeah, I fucking got mine right here. Charlton Athletic.
Guys,
right here. It was ordained.
fuck our Premier League
become La Liga
teams?
fans? Please. It's such a good league.
Where does my boy Papu play at?
Sevilla.
That's my team, deciding right now.
How you were talking about Man City is how I feel about Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
I loved the core.
Farmers League.
I loved the players. What did he say?
Farmers League.
Absolute fucking shocking take. Absolute shocking take by Jake there. It did and once the nucleus broke up, I still love Atletico, but I'm I love Sevilla too. I really like Sevilla. I love how they play. I love the players. You got Acuna there. You got honestly 7 Argentines there. Tecatito just signed with Sevilla. So now I'm looking at Sevilla and I'm I really want this team to do well. But it's a direct rival to Atletico.
Yeah.
So I'm I don't know what the fuck to do. And maybe that's the beauty of us being American and watching across the pond is you don't have to root for Manchester City because you were born in Manchester. You can say, nah, I used to like them. They got a new manager now. I don't really care for the players anymore. I'm a Leeds fan now. I'm going to try to be a Leeds fan and see where this goes. I think that's kind of the beauty of us being American neutrals.
Yeah.
Is we have a dog in this fight if we want to have a dog in this fight. If we don't, it's hey man, kind of lost the magic. Jake, as a Manchester United fan, obviously you've seen the team go from one of the greatest teams of all time to shite recently. So has there been and I'm not just trying to chat shit, I mean genuinely you guys have become worse. Do you look at the club the same way and you're this is still my club? Or are you I'm tired of years of inept management, spoiled players, and maybe one day I will look elsewhere for a team that I can call my own?
I do agree that the glory days of United are far, far behind us. Hopefully we can turn that around. But to me, the club is still one of my favorite football clubs. And I think it's, kind of a similar reason to why you like Cleveland, is because my first football jersey was a Beckham jersey. So
mine was LeBron.
Mine was fucking Champ Bailey from the Broncos.
Dude, that guy's a stud.
He's a stud.
I mean, shout out Champ Bailey. That guy was locked down for years,
Jesus,
bro.
that was out of left field.
Yeah, I literally thought you were gonna say like Batistuta or something.
No. I didn't get a Batistuta jersey until I was
You got one though, right?
18. Yeah, I got one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, that recently.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Why do I think didn't your dad get you an Argentine jersey like when we were little?
No.
Wasn't it Maradona or something?
No, never once have I been gifted a labeled jersey by dad. I think he gave me like hand-me-down Boca Junior stuff, but no, my mom actually got me the Batistuta jersey.
Oh, I'm impressed she knew that was.
Yeah, me too. I was like fighting her tooth and nail because I wanted a Maradona, and she was like, "I'm not getting you a Maradona," and I was like, "Why not?" She's like, "Why don't you want the?" My mother's white. She said, "The Bati goal, Bati goal," and I was like, "Batistuta," and she was like, "Yeah, I always liked him." I was like, "Fuck it, run it, let's do it."
Papi qué? What?
Yeah. But yeah, for the record,
I don't know what you're saying.
no, that's mad respect to Jake though, because he's not gonna drop his club, and for the record, neither will I, like I still bleed blue and white, but
I say I won't drop Man U, but I think in every video so far that we've done together, I've been alluding that I want to add another football club to my.
You have been pushing the championship hard.
Well, because fucking Man U, man, they're heartbreaking, and so like I need another league to look into and add to that. I just haven't found anything that really like sticks with me like Man U.
Korean Super League, dude.
Fubo TV is what
I tried, and
Gangwon.
it honestly helped
Daejeon.
for me to play Football Manager on that because I did get a little more attached to the K League, but I don't know.
That's
man.
one way to do it. Yeah, honestly, it's
I'm
the
looking
best
for
way to
another
do
club.
it. Start a FIFA career and just pick a team, dude. You will get attached.
That's why I've been fucking going with Leeds lately.
I know.
Because Marcelo Bielsa, and my God, I've been getting my ass kicked worse than they were. Damn.
Dude, FIFA, bro. That shit hard, dude.
It's toxic, dude.
I think you should look at a team almost like a stock. And let me explain. If the fundamentals of the team change and like everything that you loved about the team is no longer there, I think fans are within their right to renounce their fandom and say, I love Tottenham because we were this team, we did things this way, and now we don't. So fuck you. I'm out. I'm going to go to another team that resonates with what I want in a football club.
To an extent, maybe, but like I don't know. Like I'm never gonna renounce Boca Juniors or even Man City. It's just I prefer to watch somebody else right now. But I don't want a Liverpool jersey. I don't want any other jerseys of any other player that isn't American or Argentine. Really, I still want them and I love them. But yeah, you can watch, you can window shop for others. I don't know. I could not imagine being like, no, Man City, I'm going to pick somebody else out, barring they do some like horrible shit, like I can't even.
Yeah. I mean, new management, maybe they treat your favorite player like shit. Like, that would really bug me if Tottenham like did something horrible to Son or Kane and like just treated them like garbage. I mean, some could even say they've already done that to Kane by not letting him go. And I think that's grounds to be like, it's almost like a marriage. And I'm being very exaggerative here, but you have like vows between you and the club. And if the club fucks you over, I think you have the right to say, I'm out. And I'm taking the kids.
I get that. It's like the Texans, right? They had
It's me and the Rockets, dude.
Yeah.
I just couldn't stand James Harden. I don't really like Chris Paul. I didn't really like where the team was going, and I'm like, call me when these guys leave. And now I kind of like the Rockets again because they're gone.
I guess I'm taking a break from the Texans, but like I don't know. I just from Houston, I can't imagine liking or, you know, becoming a super fan of any other football team. You know, I think I'm just kind of stuck with that, and I imprinted on City, but they're not the most exciting to watch now. You know, even if Boca went to like the Bay, which they haven't, but we all know another red and white team that has. For all my South American listeners out there.
I thought you were saying Bay, like San Francisco and accent for a second. Now I understand you mean the Segunda Division.
Yeah. La Segunda División, exactamente. You all know who you are, gallinas. But like even if Boca dropped down there, I'd still bleed blue and gold. But I don't know. My passion there's a little stronger. Like I'm gonna like Leeds and I'm gonna like I don't know. Liverpool's fun to watch and you like Tottenham. And you know, I even want Man United to do better. It's just fucking sad to see teams get shaken up like that. But I don't know. We
should have a full
tough
discussion about this on another episode. But
I need time to collect my thoughts.
Yeah, we gotta be well over the hour at this point. So yeah, if you guys are still listening at this point, like, thank you guys so much. This has definitely been a doozy of an episode. We hope you enjoyed the content. Like I said, we will have a follow-up discussion about this. I think it's a really interesting topic that, truthfully, I think Americans can offer the best insight out of anybody about this, just because of our position, you know, geographically and how we're kind of...
logistically.
Yeah, exactly. We literally are in the background, like, watching all of these leagues. So we will have a follow-up discussion about this one day, and we will be talking more about AFCON as the tournament progresses. So thank you guys so much for listening. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you do not miss another episode. If you're on the streaming platforms, give us a 5-star rating. Share with anybody who you think would love listening to this type of content. This is episode 10. This has been a truthfully awesome journey. I've had a great time so far. I mean, I've been laughing my ass off every single episode. Episode 10, we'll do probably 100 more if we're lucky, you know. So follow us on Twitter, follow us on YouTube, follow us on every single streaming platform. Thank you guys so much.
TikTok.
And on TikTok.
And
oh
on
my
TikTok,
God. We have a TikTok.
Find us out there.
Follow us on TikTok.
Follow us on TikTok. You'll see more content out there. If you're looking for American expert opinions from American amateurs, that's where you'll find that shit.
I'm not even sure.
We will do TikTok dances.
We will. One day. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you on the next one.